Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Dee Dee. We are the hilarious outcome of opposing brains sharing a mutual desire to share knowledge and positive thinking about hemp and cannabis.
We are here to tear down the walls built by Big Pharma and other big companies that seek to keep the human race in fear and divided.
We are here to shatter the myths about hemp and cannabis and change the stigma of this amazing plant. Welcome to Hemp and Happiness with the Hemp Queen
And Emperor
podcast. Join us as we venture into this misunderstood and the unknown. Hey, happy hempsters. Thank you so much for turning into us and listening to mine and Matt's spiel on whatever it may be. Today will be fun, actually. Well, sort of. It was for me. That's what matters.
Wait, today was fun?
No,
or
yesterday
what we're going to
was.
talk about was fun?
What we're going to talk about, I think, is pretty cool. But it's been, I hope you guys have had a great holiday season. Probably when this airs, it'll be into the new year. Whoop, whoop. 23 is going to be pretty incredible. I mean, if you don't know, you know now. We opened our 812 Hemp store. That's where we are coming at you with our podcast, which is super awesome. So it is such a great space and great location. I love it here.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. I really love the space here. Like, it is beautiful. Like, it's exactly what I wanted, which is always a good thing to keep me happy that way.
I also like the community and not just the
yeah, talking to the mic, man.
I'm speaking to the mic.
Speaking to the mic.
I got a backup mic. Check one, check two. They're both on.
Oh yeah, you definitely Joe Dirt there.
Yeah, I love that. So
back to Clarksville.
Back to Clarksville. The business community as well as the personal or the community itself, super friendly, super nice.
Love it.
And that is exactly the type of vibe that I enjoy. Right? You know, like, I don't mind tough people. I was raised in an environment with very tough people, but it's nice when people are nice. You know?
It is.
Like, it's a good, warm feeling when people aren't assholes.
I agree. I agree. So it's I mean, not that everybody in our other places. I mean, that sounds bad.
I'm not saying people in other places our other places are assholes. Right. I did just come from a place full of assholes.
Well, you were in another country.
I was in another country. Yes. Which actually brings one thing up that I wanted to discuss before we dive into this podcast. So apparently when I was gone, there was some trolling going on regarding a comment I made about bath salts.
Did you actually read what people said?
So here's the thing. And I can say this not because I'm hiding anything, but I know full well that the people that wrote that in there won't hear this because they don't listen to the podcast. They listened to a clip of the podcast and went wild deducing their own bullshit from a incomplete clip. Okay. So at first it kind of agitated me and I considered responding, but then I realized, have I ever done that voice inside my head? And the voice inside my head said, yes, you have. Yes, you have. You have prejudged things without looking at the whole picture. Mm-hmm. And without looking the whole thing. So I'm as guilty as now. Do I come public wise like that? And, keyboard commando, some shitty comment? No, because I try very hard not to put that energy into the world. However, to say that I don't do that practice of incomplete or non-completion and just deduction from an incomplete thought or an incomplete theory or an incomplete statement would be wrong.
Right. I think we all do it.
Yes. So, the lesson is
before you judge,
don't draw judgment from a fucking excerpt. Okay. Right. If you're going to pass judgment, listen to the entirety. Yeah. Maybe do a little research.
And don't get us wrong. We want your feedback. We do.
I want your shitty feedback. I actually do.
Not just shitty.
Well, because here's the thing.
We want all your feedback.
Well, here's the thing. Your haters will tell you things that your friends won't.
That is so true.
So even though I've
got good friends, they kind of tell me.
I pay so little mind to haters. You don't want to completely discredit haters because they'll give you something that other people won't. Now, do I hang on to their comments and say, oh, I'm going to quit, I'm going to post a retraction? Fuck that. Okay. No, not how I live.
Well, I stopped responding. I was just like, you got to listen to the whole podcast.
So what I will say, you want to break out your metaphysical toolbox. You want to listen to the entirety of what's being said or written or whatever.
And that one really was clipped.
Internalized.
Like, this little piece was attached to that little piece.
Yes.
So I understood I understood why they thought that. But
and then perhaps offer some criticism or a statement or an opinion, which you know what people say about opinions, but I'm always interested in listening to an opinion based in research. And I'm not talking about cancel culture research. I'm talking about empirical research. So if you have something to offer, please do. If that's going to be based on a clip that you saw and didn't bother to do anything but fire off a shitty comment, you can keep that shit to yourself.
Okay, you heard it from Matt. Moving on for sure, because we want to keep this hemp and happiness, right?
Yeah, I'm happy, and I'm happy for them.
I know.
I'm happy.
I know. I'm happy. I thought it was funny.
It was funny, and it was amusing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just yeah. Anyway, so I don't even know how to to express the experience I had yesterday.
All right. Well, let's take a step back.
Okay.
Tell the audience about what all went down yesterday and your experience there.
Well, dude, that's what I was just trying to say.
I know, but you're like jumping in without, they don't even know what's going on. Tell them.
That's what I'm
Tell them what they need to know what's going on.
Oh, y'all, I can't wait till the new year. I need a break from that.
Whatever.
Yesterday was absolutely historical and monumental at the Capitol building. If you follow me on social media, especially my Facebook page, because that's the only place I've had a chance to freaking post anything, my personal page, which is Dee Dee Taylor. I ain't gonna say I'm gonna friend y'all, but you can follow me and see what was going on. I was blessed to be able to go to the state capitol in Kentucky and help this organization that has been tirelessly working their asses off to create this incredible experience for our legislators to see and feel. And I'm going to explain more, obviously. But I just want to give a huge shout out to the Kentucky Moms for Medical Cannabis. I want to give a shout out to Kentucky Normal, NORML, and also to other advocacy groups that helped get yesterday to where it was. The Kentucky Moms for Medical Cannabis have been collecting patients' photographs. And yes, my husband was included. Also, my father-in-law, even though he doesn't know that yet, I still need to warn him. But they have been collecting people's photographs of people that need medical cannabis here in this state and telling their stories. And yesterday, Kristen told a story. Her name's Kristen Wilcox and Julie Cantwell. They are the two head moms, and they made me an honorary board member as well. They said I am a board member, so I guess I can say that. But they met this one lady, young lady, stage 4 cancer. She went to a dispensary to get product and to bring it back and use it because she's literally dying of cancer. And she got pulled over in a shitty ass county. And the poor girl died the day she was supposed to go to her court appearance. And all she needed was some medical cannabis to maybe help with that pain from the cancer that she was dying of. And yet those police officers still confiscated that from her, and she literally died on her court day.
But the medical cannabis wouldn't have saved her life. It just would have made her more comfortable.
It would have made her more comfortable. Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify that.
Yes. Sorry. We don't make claims that it's going to cure anything, but it definitely would have helped her in so many different reasons. So many different ways we've talked about how cannabis helps. Yeah. So that was such a moving story. And that's just one of them that I got to hear yesterday while we were there. But what they did and what we helped with, we literally set up, there is it's called the tunnel down at the down at the Capitol. Yeah. Frankfurt. It's Franklin County, Frankfurt.
You're welcome.
I know. Frankfurt. And there is a tunnel that the legislators use to go back and forth, like to the cafeteria or go up to where the sessions are, where their offices are. Anyway, just about everybody walks through this tunnel. Which,
by the way, it's a bit sobering when you go there and realize that our Capitol buildings are essentially a series of Quonset huts.
Kind of.
I mean, I've lived all over this country. And when I go to the Capitol buildings, there's usually some grandiose structure.
Oh, I wouldn't say that it's not, though.
It's a series of FEMA-looking buildings.
There's some grandiose in the front. And the governor's mansion's gorgeous.
Okay, well, that's the governor's mansion.
It's gorgeous.
That's where all of our tax money goes.
No, whatever.
It does not go into those buildings.
They already paid for that shit a long time ago. Shut up. We ain't talking about that because I like Governor Andy. He's awesome. Okay. Anyway,
disagree.
My opinion.
Continue.
Yeah, my opinion. Whatever. See, that's why we get along so well.
Continue. Continue with your conversation.
Yeah, shut up. So we literally lined the hallways with all of these patients' photographs, and Kentucky Normal has a whole bunch of posters that they put up of theirs too that had all the statistics on, what medical cannabis was good for, what it's helped, the stats on whether it's safer than alcohol consumption. I mean, just a whole bunch of plethora of facts. It was amazing to see this all lined up. And of course, there was already a few legislators that were walking by and coming in. And one of them, Kristen kind of talked to, and he said he absolutely will not support it. I don't remember what county he was from, but he said he absolutely will not support it. And she's like, how can you not? I have a 17-year-old daughter who has had seizures. She's like, you should support this. Like, this will help children that need it too. And which is, they always worried about the children, right? It's all about the children. It's what I've always heard ever since I've been here. It's always about the safety of the children. Well, what about the children that could benefit from it? Something needs to change there. Something really does. Her daughter has seizures. Julie's son has seizures. That's why those two moms have fought so freaking hard to get medical cannabis here. And they are working with other advocacy groups too in the state.
But the CBD is really more towards the seizure part, right? Or with current research?
No. THC actually helps more with the convulsions and the seizures. CBD helps to try to keep their bodies from getting out of whack of the homeostasis side. But the THC actually helps with the convulsions. That's why my husband's regimen is very much he still does the CBD products in a high milligram, but he also does other products as well. So no, there needs to be higher milligrams when it comes to that kind of stuff. To me, even I think more of a 1-to-1, and you can't get that here, not legally. And that's why a lot of medical patients need these products, want these products here in Kentucky.
I'd be interested to see some empirical evidence on that.
Yeah, it's definitely out there. Now, you still run the risk of obviously giving it to a child, and you got to deal with, unsupporting doctors and things like that. But I do believe that those ladies are doing a good thing for the state of Kentucky. And what was really cool about it too, there were freaking pill bottles lined up all the way on the other side. They had like a shelf, and as you're walking, pill bottles, and said people over profit. Now I can almost guarantee you that those are going to get shut down, and they're going to have those removed because, oh my gosh, what would we be saying about that? Talk about a statement. People over profit on the pill bottles.
What does that mean?
Well, I know what it means in my neck of the woods.
Then say it.
I mean, it means that we got to stop letting pharmacy and big pharma fucking rule our entire country and definitely our state. We have such an opiate addiction here in Kentucky, and that is because of big pharma. They are the ones that have pushed that addiction. And it absolutely infuriates me that people can't choose a plant to self-medicate or they go to jail. And it absolutely infuriates me that we've had to come so close, and yet we're still so far away, and we're so behind the rest of the country. And the fact that it's not already federally legalized is absolutely insane. We just have to keep pushing and moving forward. And that's why I know you don't like Andy, but I still think that he did a really good job with that executive order. He's trying to force their hands to vote on it. He actually came down to the Capitol or to the tunnel yesterday to see everything. And I know he's a politician. I understand that. But the man was actually moved, and you could tell and you could feel it. And he actually took the time and cared. There's a huge banner down there that is set up, and all of this is supposed to be set up and on display for the entire legislative session. Now, are there going to be opposition to that? Fuck yeah, there is. Are they going to have people wanting them to take that down? Of course, it's already started. So I need to ask my people to make sure that you go in there and sign it. It's a huge banner. Governor Beshear signed it. I signed it. Everybody that was there helping yesterday, we all signed it. We're all for medical cannabis here in Kentucky. And for those that bitch about
we're all for cannabis in Kentucky.
We are cannabis. What'd I say?
Medical cannabis.
Well, we're all for cannabis, period. I'm for cannabis, period.
Right.
Because it's all used medicinally anyway.
Right.
Whether it's rec or whether it's medical, it's all used, right? Because your body uses it medicinally. I don't care if people are getting high with it; your body's still using it medicinally. But I just think that it was just so moving and such an incredible honor to be able to help them get this stuff displayed up. Beth, our employee, she came and helped, donated, volunteered her time to come help us. It was incredible. I got my picture with the governor. I showed him who my people are. That is up on the wall. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've got my own fucking PTSD from my husband's seizures. Morgan has PTSD from watching her daddy flop on the floor. I mean, things like that, it affects so much more than just one person. Whatever it is, like, yes, he has seizures, but it also affects Morgan and I. And it just does. Now, am I working on my PTSD? Of course I am. But there are mornings that if he makes a loud noise, my anxiety level just goes through the roof because I'm like, oh God, is he having another seizure? And I worry about him. I worry about him every day if he's going to fucking die from SUDEP. And that is a very real thing with people with seizures. And me trying now, granted, I know I can't care more than my husband does, and he's working on things too, but there's things that trigger seizures that we've worked on together. There's things that he can do for himself to help himself not hopefully have a seizure, but sometimes they ain't shit you can do and you just have one. They just happen. It doesn't matter. Once you have seizures, you will probably forever have them. It's just trying to be proactive, using a plant that has helped him immensely, and fighting and helping for others that are in the same boat. And I think that truly is what I am meant to do. Obviously, it has started with hemp. It will continue with our hemp products because it's the same plant, people. That's the one thing that we have reiterated, I don't know how many times. It's the same cannabis plant. The government's the one that labeled it hemp or labeled it marijuana, but it's the same plant. So our products can help. People just need to know how to use those products and finding that right dose for them. anyway, as I digress and talk about our products, I don't mean to, but
no, I think that's perfectly legitimate to talk about our products, because people still don't understand that they get so pumped about the cannabis thing, and the cannabis thing's super important, but you can get a shitload of THC and a shitload of CBD out of hemp, which we sell, which you don't have to put up with any bullshit for. And a whole lot of people don't know that. So I don't think it's wrong that you're talking about our products, because it's part of the education.
It is part of the education. And granted, there's a limit, right? The 0.3%. But this made perfect sense. You can get up to 3 milligrams per gram. So that's 3 milligrams of THC per gummy gram, right? So most of these gummies are like 3 grams, 5 grams. So you multiply that, you can get enough THC, people. I promise you don't have to drive to other states. Take it in hemp form.
We have 20 milligram gummies. They're
huge.
So just to kind of put that into perspective, my stepdaughter just came into town, and her Christmas present to me was some THC edibles from California. Mm-hmm. Guess what milligram they were? 10 milligrams. Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah. 10 milligrams. Why? So, I guess that one.
Thanks for the 10 milligram gummies. And you know what and I almost choked her out. You know what her statement was? Oh, I wanted you to, have some of the real stuff. And I was like, I will murder you.
Oh my. Yeah. Because we are both like, what the people do. Yeah. The whole real stuff.
I sat her ass down. And
did you educate her? I hope so.
I said, you can keep your 10 milligram shitty gummies from California. I've got some 20 milligram gummies that came from right here in Kentucky. And
they're hemp. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's not the real stuff, right?
Yeah. Let's do the Pepsi challenge on my 20 milligram gummy against your shitty 10 milligram gummy from California.
Even 2 of those. I mean, if you're going to do milligrams to milligrams.
Yes.
Right. It's the same fucking thing.
Yes.
So we've been all about the fuck word today, so I apologize for that.
I don't.
I know you don't.
All right, but we do need to switch back to Moms on Marijuana.
Kentucky Moms for Medical Cannabis.
Oh, okay. I like Moms on Marijuana better.
Moms on Marijuana are better.
And you know what I like the best?
It's way better than alcohol.
MILFs with marijuana. That needs to be a group. That is a group I would participate in.
No. Anyway, and I could think of so many.
I hope that makes it on a clip.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
I hope that doesn't make it on a clip, man. You're crazy. But anyway, I think the most important part that everybody needs to realize is that we have got to start supporting these local advocacy groups, and we've got to spread the word that nobody needs to drive to Illinois or to medical states. We have products available. Now, am I a little bit concerned that federally the 2023 Farm Bill will end that? I am. Am I concerned that Big Canna is getting in on that because they're pissed off that they know we can sell these products legally hemp-wise? Yes.
They already are. That's already happening.
It is. And because they actually know. They know that hemp people can sell these products, and we are, and it pisses them off because we don't have all that government regulation like they do. We don't have all the license and fees and shit like that we shouldn't have anyway. So just be prepared. Just be prepared for that. We'll definitely keep you posted on what we know about the 2023 Farm Bill and what's going on with it as we get further into the new year, obviously. But again, support your local advocacies. If you go to Frankfurt, I believe there's rally days coming up. January 3rd is one of the first ones. Then they've got them in February and later in January too. We'll post the dates in our notes, and I can let you all know when the Moms for Medical Cannabis will be there. Yeah. Go in there and sign that freaking banner. Put your name right under me. Put your name anywhere on that banner if you are for cannabis in Kentucky, period. Cannabis, cannabis, cannabis.
Well, and you bring up a good point because we're at a tipping point where things can tip one way or the other.
Yeah.
And what's going to make a difference is you, the people listening to this podcast.
Absolutely.
And deciding whether or not you're going to participate and make a difference, whether politicians listen to you or not, it will make an impact. I mean, it will make a statement. Or are you just going to, blindly allow these things to happen without saying or doing anything about it?
Well, and the thing about Kentucky, folks, your legislators, they are supposed to vote how you want them to, but they don't know how you want them to vote if you're not calling in and emailing them and telling them to vote for something or against something. If not, they just vote their own opinion. And let me tell you, after some of the things
their own lobbied opinion.
Exactly. And after seeing some of the interviews with a couple of these senators, it makes perfect sense what's going on in the state of Kentucky. Yeah. And
any state, really.
Yes. I'm
not going to limit that to Kentucky.
No, because now we're also in Indiana as well. But it does make perfect sense why things are the way they are in Kentucky in general. Yeah. So be mindful of that. Call your legislators, call your representatives. We'll put that number down there for you as well. And join the advocacy groups, join Kentucky Normal, follow us on Facebook, follow Kentucky Moms for Medical Cannabis on Facebook, follow KY4MM on Facebook, follow KCFC on Facebook. And all these people are on Instagram and TikTok as well, I believe. But these are the groups that are getting things done. And if I missed anybody, I apologize. It's hard to keep track. And obviously, we have our own hemp association as well.
Or start a group.
Well, I will.
I want to see a MILFs with marijuana.
We're not. I want to see that. But thanks, Matt.
If you're a MILF with marijuana, please start a group and send it to me so I can join. Because I want a part of that. Think of the calendar. It'd be amazing. My God. You could probably make enough money from that calendar to fund whatever cannabis initiative you would want. I would buy it.
All right, ladies, if you're listening, reach out to me personally. Maybe we'll get a. And
it's not a objectification. Okay, it's not.
Oh, yeah. I'm just giving him the evil eye, y'all, because I don't know what to think about him sometimes.
Hey. Well, I'd recommend a DILF calendar, but I don't know. I don't know if that would sell as well.
I think it would.
Okay, well, hang on. Let me get the baby oil.
Oh, we're not right. We are not right on so many levels, and we're okay with it. But anyway, please, please, please support these organizations and sign and call your legislators. I think that's the most important thing about today's podcast. And I'm hoping that we can get maybe a little video added to what this wall looks like, because it even if you can't get to Frankfurt to see it, it is just simply breathtaking. All of these pictures just out for display, and everybody has their own story as to why they need these products. And these moms have been supporting these patients for years now, trying to get this changed. And when Governor Beshear came down and talked to us, I mean, he actually seems to care and is at least trying to move things forward in Kentucky. And that I will always give him credit for. And I think that is awesome that he is going out of his way to try and help make this happen. So definitely, you got questions, reach out to us. I'm happy to answer anything you have. And even if I can't get anything answered, I can connect you to Julie and Kristen who can. So just keep that in mind. And we love you ladies, Julie and Kristen. They were going to be with us today, but they are just, they are exhausted. And I was like, I totally understand. No worries. I can speak for all of us, which was nice since they made me a board member. But you'll be moved by these. Some of them even have like a little sticker in loving memory of, and it just about breaks your heart knowing that people could have maybe used something different. So. So
all right,
that was about all I had for everybody.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Thank you
Thanks.
for listening, as always. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Hemp and Happiness with the Hemp Queen
And Emperor.
Keep your mind ever open and expanding. Like, subscribe, review, follow us, all the good stuff. And
Keep it hempy out there.